Hi, everybody. I am Megan Sings. I work at the Base Supply Center at Naval Station Great Lakes. Sorry, I'll try to not turn so much. I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and the role that Beyond Vision has played in my life. Before we get to all that, let's rewind a bit to a time before I knew about Beyond Vision or personally knew any blind people. So when I was 25, I had recently graduated from the University of Southern Indiana with a bachelor's degree in philosophy. I loved logic and ethics and learning languages. I had spent a couple of years learning French in college, and then I studied abroad in Germany, in Marburg, Germany, for 6 months to learn German. My boyfriend and I had broken up whenever I was studying abroad, but we recently we had gotten back together since then, and we had gotten married in that time frame. One day I woke up and I couldn't see my face in the mirror. And then I realized that I couldn't actually see anything in the center of my vision. That whenever I looked at anything, it just kind of disappeared. And we learned later that my immune system had attacked my nerves, including my optic nerves. And I spent the next several years being a professional medical patient. Went to doctors like it was my job. I had a lot of pain. Super intense pain that started in my feet, but eventually moved everywhere. After that period of time was over, when I was finally well enough, I went to the Illinois Center for Rehabilitation and Education, called Ike Wood in Chicago. It's a school for the blind, where I learned the skills that I needed to thrive as a visually impaired adult. They taught me orientation and mobility so that I could get around with my cane. I learned Braille to the best of my ability with the nerve damage in my fingers. And I also learned about the technology that made the world accessible for me again. Whenever I finished that program, the vocational rehab counselor there told me about the job opening at the Naval Station north of the city. I interviewed and I was hired, and my husband and I quickly moved to the suburbs north of Chicago, and we've been there for 8 years now. In that time, I have rebuilt myself and my life in ways that I had not been previously confident would be possible. As I've grown, so have my roles and responsibilities at the store. I started out being hired to primarily do receiving, which I'll admit I was not good at. But I was pretty good at a lot of other customer service tasks, which I have been since taken over. So I set up most of our customer accounts. I maintain those accounts. I'm involved in every aspect of the ordering process, from quoting to ordering to scheduling deliveries, researching items. Susan and I go to visit our customers. We go around the base and we talk to our customers and we find out what their needs are, what their evolving needs are. And also we remind them about the good that they do whenever they buy through us. After I learned how to use all of the programs in our store, I then taught my totally blind coworker, Michelle, whom we love, how to use those exact same programs so that she would have access to doing all of those things as well. And since then, she works with a group of other totally blind JAWS using BSC employees so that they can talk about what works best for them and make SOPs for new employees who come in so that they don't have to go through the trial and error process the way that we had to. In 2022, I joined NIB's Advocates for Leadership and Employment program. Their public policy team provided me training and support to develop my advocacy skills so that I could meet with elected officials, so that I could tell my story and advocate for increased employment opportunities for blind and visually impaired people in the Ability One program. I've had the pleasure of traveling to Washington, D.C. to meet with legislators for the last few years, the senators and representatives from our state, with Jim Kerlin, Rob Bittner, and now we've gotten Susan roped into it, and she's going to be going back with us, our store manager. And I'm also now doing the Insight Executive Leadership Development Program, which started in June. And that's very exciting, learning concepts of leadership and business that I wasn't previously familiar with. I've often heard Rob describe Beyond Vision as a runway, a place where people can take off and land, and that is an apt analogy. It has been that for me. This is an important organization who's there for people when no one else was. or at least for this blind person when no one else was. It's given me the space to learn and grow and flourish. Thank you for supporting us, and I appreciate your time.